Hello everyone, and welcome back to Grim Dawn. I do not use WASD in this game to move, which I just tried. So I quit the game last time and reloaded the save, and this has put me back in town, and I noticed that I've missed a few quests.
The captain send you over? He must have done quite a service with the dead if he's got hands to spare for old Barnabas. Let's get to business, yeah? Our wind pump's broken down again, and we're running low on water. We're all out of parts, so I can't fix her up. Can always melt down what weapons we have, but I'm not too fond of being devoured in my sleep. I'll need scrap from Lower Crossing.
I have some, let's just see if that's enough.
Impressive. We hadn't had much luck scavenging for supplies on account of the dead swarming Lower Crossing. You seem to handle them well enough, though. I'll get the wind pump up and running in no time. Devil's Crossing will have safe drinking water again, and it's all thanks to you. Well, the good news is, I got the water pumping again. The only problem is, it smells like a sewer. Maybe about a tenfold worse. I haven't smelled something this rotten since...
Sorry, I just skipped over some dialogue. Since I'm recording in bulk at the moment, you know, for a rainy day, I guess. I don't know if you want me to... no, never mind. Since what?
Since I've cleared out a den of slith ages ago. They're loathsome reptiles, make their homes in swamps and dank caves. They secrete a nasty poison into the water that makes it drinkable for them, but nearly always fatal to us. I bet good iron there's a nest in that cave that fuels our pump. I'm too old for all this spelunking, so I need you to go down there and kill it.
Okay, how do I get in?
This key will open the cellar in the shack behind me, right by that accursed rift gate. It connects to the bowels of the prison, which should lead you to the cave. Find the slith matriarch that's likely polluting our water supply, and the poison should clear out on its own. You do this, and all the Devil's Crossing will be honoring your name with every glass.
Of course. And secondly, that quest wants me to go into this, through this trapdoor, rather. But there's another quest marker. Okay.
Welcome to my workshop. I saw you fighting the dead out in Lower Crossing, and I dare say you are absolutely brilliant. Evidently, cutting you off that noose was the best decision the captain made that day. Where are my manners? I'm Kasparov, scientist and inventor. What brings you to my humble shop?
The captain said you wanted to speak with me?
Rift gates, yes. The Ethereals use them to get around. I was working on a way to close them, but then you stumbled through ours. We have never seen a human, possessed or otherwise, pass through one before. Not a living one, anyway. It was then that I realized that we could put these portals to use. There's something about you that is attuned to the rift gates, and I intend to replicate it.
Wait, what?
You don't remember anything, do you? I may have taken some liberties while you were out cold. It was just a few tests, a blood sample or two, nothing major. The results were curious. It appears that your body is still teeming with residual aether energies. Don't worry, you won't be growing any new limbs, probably. But I'm going on tangents here. I believe that with a correctly tuned pulse of aether energy, we can replicate this phenomenon in a controlled manner, as in without the need for pesky possession. I've been working on just the device to do it, but it needs power. For that, I require aether crystal fragments.
Like these?
Excellent. These will do perfectly. I'll just place them into the device here and... oh my, that's not right. Not at all. That pulse, it wasn't supposed to go off. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3... Yes, my fingers are still intact. Did it reach you too? How do you feel?
I feel stronger, apparently.
Very good. I'm sure a little more aether in your system won't do you the slightest harm. Okay, maybe it was a lot more. But you look fine. Fitter than ever. A real shame about the prototype, though. Showed such promise. Perhaps if I had more fragments.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
We've been so preoccupied with this Riftgate business that I completely forgot about my apprentice, Darlet. I sent her out to the Burwich Estates to fetch parts for our research, and she's been gone entirely too long. Seems her ineptitude carries beyond just the workstation.
You lost your apprentice?
I have to say, I do feel a little responsible for her now that she is my apprentice. Could you please go out there and find that hopeless girl?
Sure. Okay. I think I'll start with the quest where I know where to go, which is going through this trapdoor and clearing the sewers. Yeah, I still haven't found out if there's any way to tell where the other quests want me to go. What I'll probably do is start a different character on a separate playthrough and figure that kind of stuff out. Okay, so clearly the enemies are divided in factions. Again, something that was also done in Titan Quest. Occasionally you would see enemies fighting among each other, which... I mean, it's not an advanced feature in any way, but I think it's cool when games do that. It's just... it's not difficult to do at all. I mean, once you have enemy AI, that's really not difficult. At least not that difficult to make them able to fight each other instead of just fighting you. But I always feel it adds something to the world. It makes it feel more alive. Because the enemies aren't just standing around waiting for you to attack them. There's also that other group of enemies that they're not friends with and stuff like that. It's a small thing. It's not majorly important or a game changer or anything, but it's just a cool little feature. And yeah, as I said, I always like it when games do that, especially because it's such a low effort way to just make it seem a little more dynamic, even though it's nothing special at all. But yeah, low effort, but I think the results are worth it. Okay, spiders, cool. And as opposed to the spiders in Diablo 3, these spiders actually appear to have 8 legs, which is always essential, I find. I really like spiders, IRL. And for some reason this is one of my pet peeves in games, when they make spiders and not have them have 8 legs. It just, I don't know, it bugs me for some reason. Okay, it should not be something major, but it's just... I mean, if you've animated 6 legs, just copy and paste 2 of them. I know it's not quite that simple, but almost. Okay, so at the current energy cost, I have no trouble at all spamming this spell, at least. For quite a while. Since it's very early in the game and I haven't found any good items yet, nothing blue or green. It's usually because I've played quite a few games like this over the years. I can sort of tell which items are rare and which aren't. And this is not a superpower. Anyone just knows. You're able to tell if an item's legendary or something special just dropped. Most of the time you just kind of develop a feeling for it. Anyway, when I get something really good, or something that I think is really good, or might be really good, then I'll check it out immediately. Otherwise, I'll probably just stick with what I'm using until I get to until my inventory is full and I have to sell stuff in town. And that's usually a good time to check if there's any upgrades. That's how I do it in Diablo 3 as well, most of the time.
My inventory is full.
like now. And now would also be a good point to spend my level up. Okay, what do we have here? Chosen's Sky Shard. The mythical Chosen was said to be natural, wild and unwilling to conform to the doctrines of the Imperial Arcanists. When the Imperials finally surrounded this mountaintop refuge, Chosen humbled them using an unknown technique to bring down this very sky. Okay, that's a ranged AoE by the looks of it. I could also improve my point-blank AoE freezing thing, I think. Immense tempest, that the resulting explosion would leave nothing but ashes for anyone foolish enough to stray within reach. However, this technique required great concentration and could not be repeated without rest. Okay, so I'm guessing this gives it a knockdown, increases the damage, but gives it a recharge. Not too fond of that. What do we have here? In an instant, the air around you becomes hard as stone, absorbing all manner of attacks and reflecting the back of the attacker. Okay, so this is a very short duration invincibility skill. Interesting. I'll spec 1 point into it to see. Okay, speccing more into it increases the damage reflected and decreases the recharge, and obviously makes it cost more. Okay, that's curious. What do we have here? You know, I'm just gonna spend the rest on the main stat. Nothing that I've seen so far seemed so overwhelmingly powerful that I really needed it. And I should also have 1 point here. I'm going to go for... Could use this at a little more cunning, but I also need 5 more levels, so I don't need to spec the cunning instantly. And this gives me... I lose health, but I gain health regeneration, which seems more important. I'm going to equip this, and I'm going to spec Spirit. Also, do I have... Okay, now L to go back to town? Yes. Or to open a portal, which allows me to go back anywhere.
See anything you like?
This is the thing I'm no longer willing to use. I'm going to need these necklaces for something, I guess. No, I'm good. Okay. Oh, a claw fetish, an amulet. I currently... Seems better than the salt bag. It gives me some health regen. The damage reduction, I don't know, does not strike me as being that useful. Okay.
See you around.
Return to my portal. I think when this game was first, or when I first played it at least, that was at the point when Titan Quest was pretty much a dead property. THQ had gone bankrupt and it was just an old game that nothing was happening with anymore. And then Nordic Games actually ended up buying a bunch of THQ's intellectual properties, including Titan Quest. And they actually released a... I don't know what they called it, an update basically to the old Titan Quest. And they gave it... I'm not sure if it was an HD upgrade. I know they definitely fixed a bunch of stuff, removed some of the glitches from quests and such. They definitely gave it a nice overhaul. And many people called Grim Dawn the unofficial Titan Quest 2. Or the next Titan Quest, or stuff along those lines. Which is, if you've played both games, the comparisons are apt. But the point is, Titan Quest is not as dead as it was thought to be at the time. Because, I mean, they still did something with it. And since Nordic Games, they also bought the Darksiders franchise. The Darksiders franchise. And they have announced a Darksiders 3, which looks exactly like Darksiders 1 and 2 pretty much, so not really my kind of game. I think I started an LP of Darksiders 1, but it got so boring that I stopped. But the point is that they're actually doing something with the intellectual property they bought. And it's possible that they're also going to be doing something. I should probably not stand in this. That they're also going to be doing something with their other intellectual properties that they've obtained. I just used a health potion because I don't want to move away and try to avoid this boss's attacks. I'm just going to stand here and tank them. We're fine. There we go. That's certainly a lot of stuff. Surprised I could pick all of that up. Oh, there's a shrine here. It wants... Okay, good luck I didn't throw them away. I was contemplating just junking these because I figured I'd finished the quest that required them. Apparently not. I just got an achievement for reaching level 10. Okay, I can now get a second class. Again, very similar to how Titan Quest did it. I will keep going on about this. I'm sorry. Soldier... Nah. I'm going to go for the other, what feels to me like a pure mage class. The occultist. Okay, firstly I've got one devotion point thing. And as I said, I was going for chaos, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to look at the most advanced abilities from each tree to see what they do, because chaos seems to enable me to just raise skeletons on occasion. I mean, I've already spent 1 point, but I think that's okay. There might even be a way to respec. I don't want to read all of this out, I'm just kind of reading through it. So this makes a thing spawn whenever I do a critical attack. I think the further away from the center, the more powerful the ability, so I'm looking at those. This requires a melee weapon, or melee? I don't know. So I'm not quite sure I'm going to go for that. So I might not always have one. Okay, so it seems like the most powerful ability is pretty much for all of the for all of the different versions are some sort of summoning thing, or at least quite a few of them are, where I summon some random ally that fights for a short duration. What's this? No, I've seen this before. What's this one? Primordial. Can I already do something like, I don't know, this? You know what? I'm just going to spend these randomly. It's possible that there will one day be an NPC. One day I will somewhere find an NPC who can reset these. For now, I'm not bothering too much to get a good build. Yes, confirm changes. Okay, so I have 3 skill points. I could spend these in this tree as well, but I'll focus on the Arcanist tree for now. Okay, what do you have? Okay, when I drop below 70% health, I get a short boost to damage and energy regeneration. That's nice. Oh, this is a buff to my spell, allowing it to sometimes pass through enemies. That seems quite useful. And here we have a shield spell. You know what? I'm going to go for this passive. And now can probably head back into town, right? I have finished. Yeah, I finished this particular quest. And by the looks of it, I've explored this dungeon fully as well. What? I've unassigned. Oh yeah, I have this unassigned point. Stop nagging me. So I'm now going to go to Barnabas.
Any luck clearing out those sliths? People are starting to beg me for water. I don't know how many more times I can say it'll melt your guts before they just rush me and take it.
I've taken care of it.
Well done. Once I pump out the remaining poison water, the spring should be clean enough for drinking. I'll make sure to let people here know how much help you've been. They'll be grateful that they can get a drink without dissolving their intestines. One more thing. Take my rucksack. Useful for hauling back scrap or whatever else you come across. I'm too old for that stuff now.
Thank you. So I get an inventory bag. Which means, I think this is the inventory bag. I just have more space now. Okay, there's apparently a quest in town. Oh yeah, I've finished enough of the quests to talk to the captain again, but I actually want to finish my side quests first. But I also want to check out the stuff I found. Can I move this window? No, I can't. Okay. What do I have here? Plague Bearer's Tarnished Carver, rare one-handed. Okay, this would decrease my damage per second. I don't care. I can sell this. This rifle would increase my damage per second, but it's two-handed. I'll stick to one-handed for now, and I'm just selling all the non-magical stuff. This would require a ton more physique than I have. 153. I only have 100. Gives me a nice bonus to cunning though, but meh. You can go. Currently this sword is still a lot stronger than anything else I've found. Might not stay that way. I mean, I can only use it in 4 levels, so Gotta bear that in mind. I gain spirit energy regen, but I lose out on some of the resistances and some health regen. But I think I'm gonna equip it. Okay. A magic offhand. Bonus to bleeding damage. Okay, I think I'll actually use this. This seems a lot more helpful than a shield, to be honest. Cunning, no. No. Internal trauma damage? What? Is that a spell or an ability, or is there actually a damage type called internal trauma damage? If there is, I have no resistance to it, but whatever. Cunning... I don't really need cunning that much. And yeah, this can go. And oh, the ring. Cold damage, frostburn damage, spirit and fusion. Okay, definitely gonna want this when I hit level 12. Very much doubt I'm gonna find anything better until then. Okay, I think I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.